We throw around the term boondocking a lot, and it's really just a fancy way of saying that we camp off-grid without any sewer, water, or electric hookups, but it allows us to stay in some incredible locations, and it's all free.
We're Joseph and Kalyn, and we have spent the past 5 years living full-time in this rig right here. And in the last year, we spent it work camping, trying to save $15,000 in order to go on one epic trip to Alaska.
Today we're showing you our minimal but functional boondocking setup, and it allows us to spend less than $1,800 on average per year on campgrounds.
The first thing you need if you're going to boondock comfortably is some sort of power generation. In our case, we have two 320-watt solar panels, but you can't just put two solar panels on your roof and expect it to power your RV on a sunny day. It's a bit more complicated than that. Yes, solar panels do take the energy from the sun and convert it into usable energy. However, the sun is very goes behind a cloud, comes out, so you need a couple pieces of equipment to capture the energy you get from your solar panels.
I don't know if we're prepared for you to open that.
I was gonna say, so everything is in here.
It got messy again.
The pieces of equipment you need, I am 100% certain are there, but first I'm gonna have to dig them out, so please hold. All right, now that I have space in here, I can show you exactly how the whole solar thing works. So the power comes down from the solar panels into this charge controller, and all this does is it takes the variable power that is coming from the solar panels, conditions it down to a power level that the batteries can take, and it puts the power into the batteries. The batteries are actually what runs the entire RV. And we have 300 amp hours worth of battery, which is not a lot compared to a lot of systems out there. But we also have a 12 volt and a typical, household 120 volt system. So the 12 volt obviously can run right off the batteries, but then we have to have this inverter right here, which changes the battery from 12 volt to 120 volts so we can run our microwaves, our mixers, and all those sorts of fancy supplies.
Like we said, it's a little complicated.
Now, as you may have guessed, we wanted to save money when we put in this solar setup. That's why it is a minimal solar setup. And one of the ways we save money is I actually installed everything myself. I communicated directly with Arizona Wind and Sun, told them exactly what I want, gave them measurements of the RV, and they actually built the setup for me. They sent me almost all the materials I needed, the wires, the solar panels, the batteries, but then there were no instructions.
How do I do this?
So I literally got a YouTube education. I spent hours on YouTube just watching solar setup video after solar setup video. I'd get partway into my setup and go back to YouTube just to make sure that I was doing things at least the way other people had done them if it wasn't the right way. And it has worked flawlessly for 5 years. So even though everything might not be exactly perfect, it's working and the RV hasn't burned down yet.
And we have a nifty little monitor that tells us how many watts are coming in and what our battery levels are at. So we're at 51% and we have 307 watts coming in, right?
That's correct.
Did I get it right? Yay,
right.
I got it right. Now what we didn't tell you is this morning we actually ran out of battery, and there's some limitations to our setup because it relies so much on the sun.
Since we run off of the batteries and not off of the solar panels, nobody really runs off solar panels. When we run out of battery, we have a few options. We can take the RV to a campground and plug in, or, as I did this morning, we can fire up the generator and get our power. If it's sunny outside day after day, we can go forever. But if we have 2 cloudy days in a row, or even 1 cloudy day in a row if it's cold and we're running our furnace a lot, we will run out of battery pretty quickly. We'd love to expand the battery bank, maybe get some more solar panels at some point, but you really don't have to. You can live off of 300 amp hours of battery and 600 watts of solar, as we've proven that you can for a long time. Now, I do want to make a caveat. If you want air conditioning, if air conditioning is what makes you comfortable, you need your RV to be a balmy 60 degrees.
And it's 120 degrees out with 200% humidity.
you're either gonna have to chase elevation or northern weather to stay cool, or you're just gonna have to learn to live without your air conditioner, because as of right now, the technology that exists, you have to cover your roof in solar panels, have a whole bunch of batteries in order to run your air conditioner. Now, I have heard that there is some technology coming down the pike that is actually gonna make air conditioning a little bit more accessible for boondocking. We'll have to keep you posted on that.
And of course, we have to share the cost with you, and I do have those numbers from 5 years ago. I have a spreadsheet and everything, so between the inverter and charger and monitor and solar panels and amp hour batteries. Why did I say amp hour batteries? So between our solar panels and batteries and monitor and charge controller, and what am I missing? I'm missing something.
She's missing the installation, but we did that ourselves, so that was great.
So it was all $6,310.75, and it's one of the upgrades that we absolutely knew we wanted to do when we bought the RV. So it just goes to show you that you do not need to spend like $10,000 or even $15,000 on a massive solar setup to be able to boondock. So if money has been your hang up, don't let that stop you.
So when we started RVing, we had the solar setup, so as far as power was concerned, we could just stay in one spot and never move the RV. But water and sewer was a completely different story. We were limited based on our tank size. We had 80 gallons of fresh water and probably about 80 to 90 gallons worth of wastewater and black water. And that was it. So after 5 to 6 days of boondocking, we always had to hitch up the RV and go to a dump station. We devised a system with water where I keep about 48 gallons of water in the back of the pickup truck in these 7-gallon containers. And when the RV starts to get low on fresh water, just plug her in right here. I switched the tank to sanitize, which is gonna force my pump to suck in water. Turn that on, prime my little contraption here, and there we go. Sucking the 6 gallons of water into the freshwater tank. Now, everybody's RV is gonna be a little different. I have 2 ways I could do this. I can do it the way I'm doing, where I'm using the RV's pump. You can also get an external pump and do it as if you're at a normal water fill station or dump station where you're just like pumping water in. That works fine as well. If you have a travel trailer where it's just gravity feed, you could literally just gravity feed the water in. But for me, I've discovered that the sanitized situation works the absolute best. There are a couple ways you can haul the water too. I've chosen to haul it in jugs because I like being able to have 40 gallons of water in the back of the truck almost at all times. You can also go with a bladder, like they make 60, 80 gallon bladders, but I'm just not comfortable leaving a silicone or whatever the material is bladder sitting in the back of the truck for days on end. I'm pretty sure the sun would break it down and it'd cause problems. But if all you want to do is just like go to a water fill up the bladder, come back and put it in your tank, that's a more compact solution than the jugs, because the jugs take up the space whether they're full or empty.
But sometimes the jugs can fly out the back of the truck.
Shoot!
If you are going to be looking at a new RV and you do want to be boondocking, make sure that your freshwater tank is as big as possible. We actually feel really lucky because we didn't know we wanted to do boondocking, and our freshwater tank is 80 gallons, which is pretty high compared to like the 50 to 60 gallons that you'll see in other RVs. Just make sure your tank is 80 or above and you will be able to boondock a lot longer without the hassle of filling the tanks.
And even at 80 gallons, you really have to start watching your water usage. It is absolutely stunning how quickly you can go through water if you are not paying attention. And by the way, we still haven't done the decals on this side of the RV. So with those jugs, we are able to do fresh water, and again, we can stay in one spot as long as we want, as long as there's some sort of fresh water source nearby. However, wastewater is an entirely different story. RVs have usually 2 tanks. They have a gray tank and a black tank. Ours has actually 2 gray tanks and a black tank. If you're not aware, the gray tank is all the water from like the shower, the sinks, anything that doesn't include human waste. The black tank, well, you can probably figure out where that comes from, but in case you haven't yet, it's everything from the toilet.
Gross.
So 4 years ago, this was the missing piece we needed so that we could leave the RV parked and boondock as long as we want. This is a portable waste tank. We can dump all our waste into here and then take it to a dump station, and hey, we can just leave the RV parked, and it's phenomenal. Oh. Get it. Keep lifting.
I'm trying.
Oh. Yeah, we have to do that. We have to lift it into the RV, into the truck the hard way.
That's such a pain.
So we actually haven't always had to do that, but we had a part break, and we're actually gonna head to town to pick up that part, and I'll show you how you can avoid having to like lift your tank into the back of your truck all the time, if this is something you're interested in.
And save your back, because that one's tough. You gonna be a good pup while we're gone? Are you gonna be a good pup? Bye, Trin. I talked more about this boondocking spot in the last video, so go watch that for all the details. But the closest town that has stuff is Alamogordo. Again, still unsure about the pronunciation.
We're in New Mexico though, so I think they're gonna be a little bit more chill if we mispronounce something.
It's about 20 minutes away, and we're gonna dump and fill our jugs first. Okay. Ah!
Sorry. Was not intentional, I promise. All right, next up is food or post office. Do we want to do food last?
Yeah, let's do Amazon Locker and post office. Hello, my name is Sletter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's up here.
Oh,
you got it.
Didn't hit my head though.
How happy are you right now?
I'm very happy.
We got something sent to us via general delivery, so we're gonna go to the post office and pick that up. If you're curious about all the different mail packaging options and ways that we can receive mail, we actually did a video on that. We'll put the link in the description so you can go watch that, because there's a lot of different ways we can receive mail on the road, and we're kind of hard to track down. Now I need some food because I'm getting a little hangry. It's after 1 p.m.
Did you pick where you wanted to go yet?
No, all I saw was fast food stuff.
We can go home and get PB&J.
I do not want PB&J.
Have we come to a
We
decision?
have. Let's go to Brown Bag Deli. Someone said they can't eat at Subway anymore because of this sandwich spot. So let's give it a shot because it feels very local flavor. And that's what I was looking for.
So there's yours. Holy cow.
Are you planning on eating all of that?
I was planning on eating half of it, but even half of it is huge.
Good?
Isn't it really good?
Better.
That was the best BLT I have had.
And you have leftovers.
Yes, I know what I'm having for supper. All right, should we head home and do an unboxing?
Yeah,
All right,
let's do
let's
it. Does anyone notice that there's someone on the couch?
Are you kidding me? Trinity, are you allowed on there?
She wore us down. Now she's loving her life.
She has gained couch privileges and she now rules the place. But that brings us to our first package. Welcome to the Cummings RV unboxing.
Yes.
We're gonna do these one at a time.
We bought a DNA test to figure out, is it DNA?
It is DNA.
Some sort of test.
It is DNA.
To figure out what breed Trinity is or what she's a mix of. So we're gonna attempt,
Got the wisdom panel.
and they're not sponsoring
DNA,
this, they
yep.
don't know who we are, we
just
bought it. We're gonna attempt to swab her. You have to do it for 15 seconds, which I feel like is a really long time to be inside a dog's mouth. But we're gonna try that, and then meanwhile, while we are waiting for the results, let us know your thoughts, your guesses in the comments of what breed she is, what breed, like mixed breed she is. Yeah, we're just really curious.
She doesn't know what she's in for.
She thinks you're gonna do belly rubs.
She thinks I'm gonna do, I'll do belly rubs. Yeah, get comfortable.
Should I like hold her
Not
and
right,
rub
not-
her belly?
Not until we find out if it's a problem. Let me just get this up
In your cheek.
in your cheek. There we go.
Okay, one.
Nope, nope, nope. I'm ending up in her mouth, not up
It's
in the
supposed
gums.
to be in her cheeks, right?
Correct.
Her cheek. How do they expect you to do this?
I have no idea.
3, 4, 5. Oh, I only made it 5 seconds.
What's the deal? There's nothing to be concerned about.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! We did it.
Okay, one more. One more.
1, 2, 13, 14, 15.
Good girl. So these are like what the bristles are. I would be like not happy if someone was shoving them up in my gums and scraping them around. So we need to go to wisdompanel.com/activate. All right, Trinity's test kit is activated.
Yay!
You look excited, Trinity.
No, it's
She
okay.
sees-
It's okay.
She sees Craig.
We're gonna find out what you are.
I thought she was a dog.
Okay, guys, last time to get all your guesses in on the comments. What is Trinity? Trinity, look up here. Look
There
at
you
people.
go.
Give them a good look. Good job.
Can you forgive us for being all up in your cheek? All right.
All right, let's do this.
Time to open some more stuff. Let's see if I'm right.
Okay, well, let's stay on the Trinity train
Oh,
for
yes.
a minute. We've got her
That was wrong,
these
actually.
probiotics. I think one of you guys
Yes.
actually recommended this to
Yes.
us, and it does help with the gassiness situation.
And by help,
Meaning the last
it
week has
pretty
been
much-
torture.
it pretty much eliminates it. But yes, we ran out a week ago and whoo, it came back. Everything else, I think, is related to the spare part that broke with regards to our gray tanks. Oh, what's this?
Oh, these are, do you have the scissors? These are for Alaska. So if you notice, our shades are not blackout shades.
Not even close.
So I'm having, she's like very interested
She is very
in this
interested.
one. But we ordered eye masks so that we can
Oh.
sleep at night. Hopefully we don't get annoyed. I'm pretty sure I ordered 2 though.
There's only one in there?
Yeah. I
Sleep-
don't know, it feels really tight.
I think you can adjust it. Pull it off. Let me see.
Oh, I got my makeup all over it. That
yours
one's
now.
mine.
Yeah, you can totally adjust this. All right. So this is a new hose, and this is the first step in getting our black tank and gray tanks from the RV to the back of the pickup truck so that we don't have to lift that gray tank. Let's show the big kahuna.
This is, I feel like you should say it since this is your baby.
This is,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 words long.
wow.
It is a portable RV waste pump self-priming.
Macerator. Wow. They gave us a whole lot of extra stuff that I didn't get the first time I got one of these. I actually owe this to All About RVs. He's a RV channel that does a lot of like RV maintenance stuff and things along those lines. I watched one of his videos 4 years ago, and that's when I learned this trick, and that is you hook this up to your valve outside and you can pump and macerate all the solid stuff into your portable tank. That way you don't have to drag your portable tank behind your pickup, or you...
Like we did lifting it.
My macerator that I got that finally died before was like $200, I think. And so when it died, I wasn't looking forward to buying another one, but this one is like under $100. I think it was $79. But I'm already laughing because there is something different about this one than the last one. What I'm used to is you just hook up the hose to the macerator pump. This one doesn't have a hose thing. Instead, it comes with this little like clear plastic tube that you attach the hose to. So we're gonna have a little window that we can
Oh yay, we get to see
we
it.
can watch all the ground up, you know what, go by.
I will hold the hose.
The window.
I can't do this anymore.
Well, I guess she's not gonna be boondocking without me. Switch
We
spots.
changed jobs.
Hang on.
Okay, I think
stop
it's
it.
done.
Shut it off. Okay, hold up. So it's smart to do the black first so that you can then rinse out the hose with a gray tank. And
Rinse in quotes.
yes, well, once you rinse it out with a gray tank, you're ready to use the hose for fresh water. So I'm just kidding. You don't use the hose for fresh water.
In our last video, we went to White Sands, which is National Park number 44 for us, which is very exciting.
We're getting close to 63.
We are, but we did Sunset and did a sunset walk with Craig and Victoria. But today we want to try to go in when it's a little bit lighter out and take some photos and just see the park in a different environment. It's our first view, well, Technically not first view because we had a
We've been
sunset here.
before.
But there's White Sands National Park.
Good afternoon.
It was just way too steep.
Look at you making clean tracks.
I know, it's very, very exciting. Water. My mouth is so dry.
Not sponsored by Fiji, but maybe should be.
Fiji water tastes better, by the way. This is a hill I will die on. Overall, you can definitely do White Sands in a morning or an afternoon.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's an all-day thing.
There's not many parks we'll say that about, but
Yeah.
this one, and it's not a bad thing.
No.
You can go in, you can explore, you can get your pictures, you can even rent you can't rent the board, you can buy the board, and slide down the hill and have a good time. But it is literally a couple hours to go through and explore it and have a good time.
I'm so glad we did it though. Obviously it's checking it off the bucket list, and we'll check and see if we got some good photos. If not, we may have to go back again.
And like always, tomorrow, back to real RV life.
We got more projects. Like, I feel like our whole life is RV projects.
How's the Alaska planning?
It's going. I feel like we've got our route kind of figured out and generic dates. I'm going through the milepost. We're making notes, we're making progress. My next step is to like try to find boondocking spots and campgrounds. But, oop, ow. But we have a few things to check off the RV repair list, including that closet clip that broke last time.
Come on.
Did you just... We have a new clip thanks to our friends Craig and Victoria. I know we've mentioned them a lot, but we're boondocking next to them. Wild RV Life, go follow them, subscribe if you haven't already. But they had an extra clip.
It's quite funny.
So.
They just come over randomly. They're like, "We watched your video here."
So let's see if we can do that this time, like do it the right way this time. While he's outside getting the supplies he needs for that and the other projects we're tackling today, I wanted to remind you that if you haven't signed up for the Open Roading Alaska Postcard Club yet, there's still a little bit of time to do that. Space is limited, it's starting to fill up, and our form closes May 31st because we are going to be hitting Alaska in June at some point, but we're basically wanting to send you 2 postcards this summer from Alaska. They're handwritten from us. They're very personalized. So if you want to receive those and you want to support the channel, it's a one-time cost of $25. We'll leave a link in the description or a QR code here, probably both, if you want to do that. Oh, I thought we were actually coming with more supplies than a single.
People... So I'm a little self-conscious because I had a couple people that were like, "Man, that drill was a little bit of overkill for that job." It wasn't the drill. That wasn't the reason it broke, but I just decided to go the old-fashioned screwdriver route. Hopefully the screwdriver meets people's expectations as far as like, you know, the right tool for the job. This clip is identical to the one. So apparently all RVs have the same clip. Gotta say, this would have been faster with my drill.
I'm ready. Is that okay? I thought I would hear a snap or something.
Well, I did it. I pulled it manually.
Okay.
I just want to see yours.
I wanted a satisfying snap. See, mine snaps.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. It snapped.
Staying here for the next one because this falls down. And as you can see, yeah, that is. I'm gonna see
very, very loose.
If these have just backed out, or if I need to do. No, that's ready loosey. It can just keep turning and turning. So we had in the comments, unrelated to this issue, but with screws and righty loosies, that they said if I throw I think it was a toothpick in here.
What?
Yeah. So we're gonna give it a shot. That's righty tighty. Let's stick this in. Stick that in. And we've got our new
It's not falling off.
there are two things that we have gotten inundated with comments for. The first one was when we pronounced the Texas grocery store HEB, we pronounced it Heb. Trust us, we will never make that mistake again. But the other thing, we talked about how this handle, once we changed our lock, comes across and actually touches our keypad. Yeah, the comments were filled with comments like this and all of these, and yep. Missed the obvious thing right in front of my face.
We just need to flip it. Oh, he's getting another tool, another screwdriver.
You like my new tool? This is called the steak knife pry bar. Come on. There we go.
There it comes.
Yeah, we flip it over.
We were also going to try to work on the decals today, but I don't know that that's a good idea, because trying to get like the decals off
You're gonna
on the other side, it's just going to like fly into
I was
the
gonna
lake.
say, you're gonna end up throwing the old decals into the lake if you do that.
And I mean, obviously you can't spray paint in this, but even just like getting the decals off, we might have to wait on that. Again, I just want it to be done. Oh my word.
YouTube for the win.
That is perfect.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
we love you guys.
Don't get all mushy now. We were actually supposed to be leaving this spot today and traveling, but as you can see,
We're still here.
yeah. And that's one of the nice things about boondocking is because you don't have reservations, you don't have to like arrive or leave on a specific day. You just have to make sure that you're within the limits, which I think it's 14 days max
It
here,
is.
which is typical for BLM management land.
The flexibility of boondocking
so nice.
is phenomenal.
But the reason why we didn't go is because we still need to get those white sands photos, and we thought sunrise would be a great time to do it. And the last 2 days have just been so windy and crazy, so this morning was like our only time to do it.
But that
And
wind was a blessing.
It was because it
Because-
covered the footprints.
Yes, we got there when it opened. Everything was pristine. We
It
were the
was
first ones creating
so
footprints.
nice. Yeah, had to wake up early, but it was so worth it. And Trinity
She loved it.
had a blast. So White Sands is dog friendly, if you don't know that. And she absolutely loved it. I'm so glad that we took her.
Yeah.
That was like the highlight of her day and probably our day.
Should we tell them what the temperature was in the RV when we woke up this morning? Because we have discovered that we're not really in the swing of this whole boondocking thing. We ran out of propane last night at like 10 o'clock at night. So not early in the night.
So cold. I was
was-
under 3 layers of blankets and it
It
was
was
still freezing.
47 degrees when we got up
Yep.
this morning. And we looked last night, there was no place that would fill propane that late at night. So
Obviously,
it was
yeah.
just a really cold night, which meant this morning, after we went to White Sands, we did some errands, we got some water, we filled our propane tanks. It's been a bit of a morning, but that is not the only thing that has proven to us that we are out of sync with boondocking. And I want my coat. It's still cold outside. All right, that's much better. Much better. All right, so when you boondock, I think we've mentioned this before already, you want to conserve water. Well, 3-4 days ago, we dumped our gray tanks, and we should be able to go 5-6 days without dumping the gray tanks again. Well, this morning, I emptied this because I dumped my shower gray tank, and I actually didn't even fit the entire shower gray tank.
It's so embarrassing. Like, we have lost our boondocking mojo.
And I actually blame most of this on me. I've gone through an enormous amount of water.
I know, we're supposed to be on water conservation mode.
So actually, we have a pile of dishes inside because I think this gray tank is actually pretty close to full as well. I'd say it's a learning process, but we already know this. It's a getting back into the rhythm process, I think.
I feel like there's always such a balance between making yourself miserable boondocking and not being overly excessive with your water usage. We haven't struck that balance yet, apparently, but
We have in the
it's
past,
something we're
though.
striving for. Yeah, and we have in the past. We've done well, and it is, I guess we're less like concerned about water usage if we have free water available that's within like 15 to 20 minutes. That does make it easier.
Yeah, if there's a dump
But-
station, that is a huge benefit.
Yeah. Right. Now we can tackle these dishes.